all changed. So if we go ahead and take a look at any website, if you ever used the internet before, you probably noticed that web pages are divided up kind of similar to one another. So let me go ahead and here's a neat little trick aside from HTML5. I don't know if you guys knew this. If you're using Google Chrome, you can hold Control on your keyboard and scroll, and it'll change the size of your text. So anyways, you know, that has nothing to do with the tutorial, but I thought I'd tell you guys. So anyways, if we go ahead and take a look at any typical web page, mine included, it's kind of laid out the same. You have your header, which pretty much has your logo and maybe your title. You have a navigation bar that pretty much has a list of links to your different web pages. You have your main content, which is pretty much the meat of your web page. It's all the important information. And aside from that, you have your footer. Now the footer is at the bottom here, and it has all the copyright business crap. And the only other piece, I guess, that is kind of noticeable is the sidebars. You have one over here with like extra news and one over here. But basically, every single website, I don't want to say every website because there's some weird ones out there, but a lot of the websites are kind of laid out in the same way. And the developers of HTML5 kind of noticed this, and they said, okay, we might want to break this up a little bit smarter than we have before. So what they did is they made tags for each of these pieces. Now your browser can know which each part of your website is for. So let's go ahead and work in the body in this tutorial. And here's a nice little trick too. I'm telling you guys all sorts of tricks. If you want to collapse something, for example, I don't need this head because I'm not working in it in this tutorial. Just go ahead and hit this little minus sign and it'll collapse it. So there you go. It's still there. It doesn't delete it. It just collapses it. So there you go. There's some more tips. So anyways, in your body, the first thing we want is the header. Now remember, the header, don't get it confused with the head, what we just collapsed. The header is basically the part of your website that has your logo and pretty much the title of your website. So in order to do this, let me go ahead and edit this actually. We just go ahead and type header and have an ending tag like that. And since I don't have an image, I really don't want to add an image right now. What can I put in here? I guess I can just put a little description. So heading one, that might be kind of big, but oh well. I'll put welcome to the new Boston, and I guess I might as well capitalize this since it is the title. Welcome to the new Boston. So now if we go ahead and save this, run, launching Google Chrome, we can see that we now have a title in this. Whenever we're reading this in a browser, our browser is going to know that whatever is in between your header tags, that is the header of your website. So aside from that, we also, let's see, let me think the order I want to do this. I guess I'll tell you guys about the navigation next. Now the navigation, if we look, it's all of these links right here. It's the main navigation for your website. And the tag that they figured was the best for that is NAV, short for navigation. So since we don't have all those images and rollovers, we can just make an unordered list, UL, and throw a couple list items in there. And I'll make a couple fake links. I actually won't make any links, I'll just put some text in there. Copy this bad boy. I don't know why I do that. Whenever I'm copying something, I right click it and hit copy. And whenever I'm pasting it, I hit the shortcut, Control V. Pretty weird. But I do it anyways. Okay, home and tutorials, and I'll make a link to a fake link to my podcast. So anyways, the key that I want to take away from this tutorial, or excuse me, this little piece of information is whenever you have your main navigation in HTML5, put it in between these nav tags, right like that. Now, I guess the last tag I'm going to talk to you guys about is, I don't know how much time I'm going to have left, but the main content is pretty much all this meaty stuff. It's pretty much the main information, the most important part of your website. That goes in between a tag called section. Now, it doesn't always go in between this tag, but for the sake of this tutorial, to keep things simple, we're going to be adding all the important stuff in between section. Now, we're going to be spending a lot of time in there, So I guess we'll do that in the next tutorial. I'm going to try to cover all these basic tags first. Now, the sidebar I was talking about is basically all, it's not the incredibly most important information, but it might be, you know, a little news story or some more navigation or maybe a funny picture of a cat or something. Not really the meat of your website, but, you know, it's useful information. What we do is we put it in a sidebar and we name that aside. You actually have a couple of these, but we'll just stick with one for now. And we just put like a little header. So header 4, and what am I going to say? I'll make this like a news story. So I'll say news, and then I'll put like Lucky has a new dog. I really don't have a new dog, but if I did, I would definitely put it on my website. So you know, I think it suits it well. And the last part before I forget is the footer. Now the footer of your website, if you look, pretty much all websites have a footer.
स्कूल का छुट्टी हर छुट्टी में भेजते हैं स्कूल के नहीं ना हर छुट्टी में थोड़ी भेजेगा
It's this little information at the bottom where you have like your copyright information and your company name, and maybe if you have a really big website, there are the terms of services, you know, what you can't do, what's illegal and stuff. So we use that and we put it in the tag footer.
BVM का नाम है
name. Footer. Now,
कितने मिनट में बंद होते
here, again, like I said, it's like your company information, copyright. So I'll make a fake copyright. Blue Boss.
कितने मिनट में बंद होता है? Smart disk नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है.
2011. So with that, you have your very basic structure of a very simple website. You have.
पहले पूछना उसका repeat आया क्या? चाचा को पूछ. चाचा को चाची को. इसका देख sound का केबल भी नहीं लगा.
Have your header, which is your title and logos, your main navigation bar that usually appears at the top, your main content, your sidebar, and your footer. So now these are custom HTML5 tags, and now our browser knows that anything in the footer is exactly footer information. And it's not just in a random table or a random div tag. It actually is aware of the content now. So if we go ahead and save this and run launching Chrome, you can see that. Okay. What's going on here? Where's my header at the top, and my navigation looks like it's in the right place. This isn't that supposed to be on the side? I think you told me that was the side. Well, actually, aside tags, they only describe the information or the content. They only are saying, okay, browser, this is side information, or in other words, not as important information as the main stuff. It doesn't position it. We're going to be working with positioning and styling later on. But anyways, what I want to point out is these tags right here, they're pretty much used to only describe the information in it, and we're going to be using CSS to style and lay out everything nice and pretty later on, but that's in a couple tutorials. For now, just get your basic tags set, and I'm going to be showing you all the cool stuff later on. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Alright guys, now that we have the shell or the container for our body, we can go ahead and add some meat to it, some actual content. Now remember I said that in the main section of our body, we didn't add anything.
Huh? लेने के जाने का क्या लेके आया भारत खुश हो जाएगा जो प्रोजेक्टर आया तो 20,000 रुपए आ गए
in the last video, what we were going to in this tutorial. But let's go ahead and do that. Now, I'm going to be starting with something called an article. Now, whenever you think of article, you probably think, okay, so this means that you're going to be adding something that's going to look like a newspaper article or magazine article with a bunch of text. An article doesn't have to be like a magazine article. It's just a way that you can group similar information together. So it's not like an article like you think of it. Just think of it as like similar information. So inside an article, here's a cool thing. Each article has its own layout. And by that I mean, you see how
DVM, very clear now.
our entire body has a header and a footer. Well, these articles also can have headers and footers. So let's go ahead and add a header first. And I might as well go ahead and add a footer while I'm here. Footer. So we're saying, okay, well, let me go ahead and actually, I'll add some content to this. Let me just add a stupid paragraph. So yeah.
का पूरा तोड़ना पड़ता है कीबोर्ड बेबी करने के लिए पूरा लैपटॉप
खोलने का उसको ऊपर का ढक्कन तोड़ के निकाल के कीबोर्ड में चलेगा पूरा बकवास हो चलेगा कीबोर्ड में निकल डेमो आराम से लो इसका उठा फिर मत रखना वही तो मैं तो नीचे कभी रखने का नहीं बोला बहुत उठा ले इधर से 120 कौन सा डिजाइन सब उठा ले नीचे ऊपर है बीच में है घर तो ज्यादा कैप्चरिंग नहीं हो जाएगा कितना भी सामान था बीच में रहे तो किधर भी कुछ भी डाल सकते ना टेंशन नहीं रहते हो जाएगा क्या बताएगा घर बात नहीं है करने का तीन जाता ना उठाने के लिए टेस्टिंग पे आप कीबोर्ड नया लगा हाँ नया लगा है जो नया बाजू में रखा है आप दोनों खराब है मैडम खराब है एक मिनट में शॉप से चेक करता हूँ एक बात नहीं करेंगे चले मेरे को दो पे तुम लोग कोई साइकिल ले लेना कुरियर वाला आता है ना अपना वो भी परवड़ी वाली गेयर वाला चाहिए गेयर वाला ऐसी बात ये सब होती है नया है हाँ ग्रामर ऐसे इसका कुछ नहीं बात ग्रामर नीचे फिट 2 फीट की लगा 2 फीट से बात है जाने मेरे पास है
नहीं काटना ना बैठने देना ये पण एक काढले
बहुत 3 लाख ले भाई फैन डायरेक्ट किया बोलना उसको चाचा का बोल फैन डायरेक्ट किया देखो उठा चालू हुआ ये क्या है मशीन ऑफ है ना अरे फैन डायरेक्ट क्या करें नहीं हो रहा है ना अभी कोई नहीं
पहले हो रहा था क्या प्रॉब्लम होना चाहिए
कभी वही क्या